At this time, I am excited to welcome one of our elders, familiar to all of you, Steve Wennerstrum, who's going to provide us with an update about our life together and an update from the session. Steve?
Thank you, Eric, and good morning to everyone. Today, I speak on behalf of the entire session. Last month, the session sent a note explaining our plans to continue remote worship through the end of September. Remarkably, the end of September is right around the corner, so an update is in order. The session, just like all of you and like everyone, very much would like to be back worshiping together, singing together, and greeting each other in person. But there remain some very real barriers to doing this. First, in the state of Illinois, there are restrictions on the size of gatherings. There can be no more than 50 people at any gathering. Additionally, the need to social distance would further reduce our ability, and perhaps the number we could have would likely be below that 50. So imagine an in-person worship experience that looks a little bit like the following. No more than 45 parishioners in the congregation or in the sanctuary in order to accommodate social distances and to ensure we don't exceed the maximum gathering size. Everyone would have to wear a mask. Services would not include singing or unison praying. Singing is one of the activities that is proven to accelerate the spread of viruses. There would be no fellowship hour. There would be limited use of restroom facilities, and we would need to implement a reservation system to ensure that we don't exceed the maximum limit and to implement contact tracing should the need arise. We hope that you agree that this view of in-person worship is not what we're all longing for. Secondly, the session takes its responsibility very seriously. It would not want to create a situation where we expose our members or our guests to any material risk of contracting COVID-19. We know it's possible, it's not possible to eliminate all risk, but at this point in time, we cannot confidently say that there is no material risk of gathering as a congregation to worship in person as a larger group. We have sought to provide meaningful remote experiences. Our Sunday worship, such as today, prayer groups, book clubs, educational opportunities, and more. And we owe a huge thank you to Eric, Lottie, Stephanie, and everyone who has made this possible. Creating these virtual opportunities takes a lot of work and planning. Through the course of the summer, we have selectively introduced opportunities for smaller groups to interact in person in an environment where we can appropriately social distance. Examples of this include the deacon-sponsored walks, our cleanup day, Paul Banovich's Tai Chi classes, and selected events for our use, such as preparing 200 sack lunches for the Second Presbyterian Church of Chicago. Through COVID, we have also sought to continue our tradition of helping our community. The overwhelming response to the food collection for the Second Baptist Church of LaGrange Food Bank and Bernie's books are the two most notable examples, and our contributions are appreciated and are making a difference. So, where are we now? Given the complications for in-person worship and knowing that to create meaningful remote experiences takes time and planning, we are planning for remote worship through at least the end of the year. At the same time, we are planning on adding additional opportunities for us to interact, both virtually and in person in carefully planned small group settings. We have some ideas, but we welcome yours. On September 27th, there will be a post-worship Zoom fellowship hour, similar to several we've had in the past. At this gathering, we'll share our plans for the additional opportunities, and we welcome your thoughts and ideas. Login instructions will be provided through the weekly connection as well as on the website. I know that we are all disappointed that we will not be returning to in-person worship, and we hope you understand the reasons why. If material changes occur in the current environment through the course of the fall, we will reevaluate, but we wanted to share our plans as they stand as of today. Unfortunately, no one knows when the current COVID conditions will be over. And we know that this uncertainty can be exhausting, but it will, excuse me, but it will end. We think it is important for all of us as a congregation to ask ourselves, how do we come out of COVID running, not walking or crawling? What are the things that we need to do now as a congregation and individually to ensure that we emerge from this the vibrant, caring place we all love? That is our goal. Staying connected and having opportunities for meaningful interaction and having opportunities to meaningfully contribute to the broader community are certainly important to coming out of COVID running. Let's keep our energy level high and keep the ideas coming. Thank you, and I hope to see everyone this afternoon at 2 o'clock for Lottie's ordination.
Steve, thank you very much for that update. And I want to say a special word of thanks to our session who has worked very diligently to consider this decision and think through things. And so thank you. And again, we'll have a fellowship hour in a couple weeks and continue to come up with creative ways to engage with one another.